How old are you? Okay, as I'm talking to you, you see the cameras moving around, right? And it's like you keep looking at them, right? That's a distraction. We live in an era where it's never been easier to be distracted and it's never been easier to win. By the way, when you wake up, your plan is not to check notifications on your phone. Am I right? Like you don't wake up and you're like, my goal today is I'm going to answer my notifications on my phone faster than anybody else. No, your goal is to say, I'm going to kill it today. And all of a sudden that phone lights up. You have to be able to ignore the distractions. And by the way, when you say I'm going to wake up and kill, how many other 911s are going to get in the way? Because everything becomes a 911 to people because they're avoiding the work.
That was the smallest stage you'll ever be on.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah.
As long as you change people's lives, being in rooms where people are growing, whether there's 1,500 or 50, it doesn't matter. Or 2, yeah. When people are hungry, it makes you not want to leave.
Yeah.
Are they ready?
Right. Yep.
Okay. God. Thank you. Do we got the right people in the room?
Yeah, we got the right people.
Is this the hungry room?
Small group of killers.
Doesn't matter how small it is. Are they really killers?
Yeah.
Are you guys killers?
Yes, sir.
That guy doesn't look like a killer. He's quiet. He's not even. I asked, are you a killer? And he just said, that's not killing. Are you guys killers? Is this the group of killers? Okay. Yeah, there's just a difference, when somebody's hungry to learn, right? If you guys want someone to really teach you something, you really want to have a big life, you got to be hungry to learn. I've sat across from the greatest people in the world that could teach me everything. And I've watched someone sit in front of these people, and they look like they're just like numb, and they'll never teach them to be the best, because they'll never give them their best. But if you're in a room, no matter how big it is, there could be 10,000 people, or there could be one person. If that person's hungry, if it looks like they care, if it looks like they're trying to make a difference in their life and others' lives, if it looks like they're like consciously paying attention. Does that make sense? Like if I'm like, does that make sense? And people are like, yeah. It's like, I'm going to give you a training you've never had. I'm going to teach you how to change your life. But if I'm like, does that make sense? And you're like, it's like, get the out of here. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, there we go. And by the way, when you one day, and I don't know where your story's at, but when you one day do something crazy, okay, you want to teach that crazy story to those people that are crazy like you were. You don't want to share with people that don't really want it. It's a waste of all of our times. The crazy thing is that I don't need any money. I just want to change people's lives and I want impact. I hate talking to dead people. Most people will walk among the dead their whole life. And so if you're ever lucky enough to be in a room with somebody that's alive, you better wake your ass up. And it's not about being all hyped up and shit. It's about just saying like, hey man, like I need to really make sure my brain's awake for this. Because what if this one speech, this one conversation, this one meeting could be the thing that forever changes my life? Does that make sense? Okay, and some of you in here, you've been waiting for something to change, am I right? Yeah. Some of you in here, you've been wanting to make more money. Some of you in here, you've been wanting to be a better dad. Some of you in here want to be a better husband, right? Some of you in here want to be a leader, want your team to look up to you. You want to recruit the right people. You want the people that maybe left you in the past not to leave you anymore when you spend time with them. Maybe you really want these next couple years to really count. I mean, those are the people I want to spend time with. Look, I'm going to tell you this. I'd rather be a lion for freaking, 10 years and than be a sheep for 100. And look, dude, I'm one of those people that I don't really give a fuck what anybody thinks. I really don't, truly don't care. If you don't have high standards and have high values, you won't understand me. You won't. I'll talk about my kids. I got my daughters right here. Come here. I got my daughters. And I, she's 9 and she's 12. And you can clearly tell they run just like their dad.
Yeah.
And, I want to ask you a question. Have you taught your kids anything where it makes them even want to run with you? I mean, really. And by the way, is it ever too late to change?
Nope.
No. That's the cool thing. My favorite thing that I say all the time is comeback kid. I always want to know, am I inspiring my kids? And how I know if I'm inspiring my kids is what I'm doing, I look at them and see if they're following and doing it. And so on the way here, right, I was sitting there, and by the way, I'm totally against the grain. Like everybody has to understand, there's no one that I look up to that I'm like trying to be like. I learn information so it helps me understand who I want to become. Everyone can tell you what they do, they can tell you what their career is, but they can't tell you who they are or what they stand for. And I think that's the biggest problem is that most people in their life, they learn their industry, they learn their job, they try to help other people, but they've never learned themselves, ever, not once. Tell me, if you can't master yourself, how you're ever going to build anything in this life. If you can't master yourself, you're just going to get thrown around all day long. Every morning you're going to wake up, every new idea is going to throw you off track. Every morning you wake up, no matter how your mindset is, anybody else's mindset around you will literally either bring you up or bring you down. Listen, dude, my life is always up. I could be getting sued. I could have everybody coming against me. My whole life could be falling apart. My whole company could walk out on me. I don't wish for any of that, but if it happened, it ain't going to change my perspective. I'm damn sure not going to take my enemy's eyeballs and put them in my head. I'm keeping these eyes. I know what I see, everything that's happened for me, everything that's happened in my life. The worst things, the most nastiest, disgusting, worst, hurtful things that would tear any human being apart. I look up 3 years later, I say, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. I do it every time. And so anytime I know I'm going through hell, I know in 3 years I'm going to say, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I know I'm going to get to say it because life is a mastermind. This isn't a mastermind. This is an opportunity to get around like-minded people that want to grow. And dude, listen to me. There's no tactic or strategy that's going to change your life. It's ideas, it's ideologies, and it's hijacking the way that successful people think or mentors that you look up to, the way that they think. Does that make sense? Yes. Listen, your greatest responsibility in life is to be in control of your own thoughts. So I'm like looking for people that think better than me all the time, and I'm going to steal the way they think. Model proven practices. Find people who have what you want, figure out how to emulate it. It's very simple. It's like a computer system. We're all computers in here. Okay? How do you want to program yourself? Okay? You take the good softwares, you put them on, you take the bad ones and kick them out. Some of you guys got a bad software and you're not kicking it out. Listen, dude, and I always say this, and this is like the number one reason why you guys are all the problem. What would you do in your life right now if you knew that no one else would get their feelings hurt? There would be wives that would divorce their husbands right now. There would be husbands that would divorce their wives right now. There would be people that would walk into a company and a 7-year person that's been in that company, they would say, it is time for you to leave. I'm not doing this no more. And by the way, I love you. I love you, but I need someone to move the needle in this company and you're not doing it. And I don't have the time to do it, and I pay you to do it. And if those people mean so much to you, just pull the money out of your pocket and just give it to them. And just say, look, I'm going to pay you to do nothing, but I'm going to hire someone else to do your job now. I love you that much, I'm going to give you the money for free. Does that make sense? Yes. Listen, the reason why you guys are all the chokehold in your own lives, you're all the reason why you're not growing, is because there's something that you need to do that you've been avoiding. It's always something that you've been needing to do. And you guys will look around, and if you don't know what it is, you're not aware. And being unaware is very dangerous. Okay? You can't scale and grow until you get honest. Okay? Right now, think about the 2 or 3 closest people. Think about the 1 or 2 closest people to you in your life right now. Are these people trying to get you closer to God? Okay? Are these people trying to help you have a better marriage? Are these people trying to help you become a better father? Are these people trying to actively every day help you self-develop, realize that you're the greatest investment in the world, that you're worth it? Are these people trying to help you, get in better shape? Dude, if your friends are eating like shit, can them. I don't want them around me. I don't. I won't have you around me. I can't. I can't sacrifice the dreams that I made to myself and I've made to my family and the commitments I made to everybody around the world when I decided to be a leader. I'm not going to do it. These are things that you have to go through when you decide to get to your next level in life. And by the way, you already know all this. So I'm not here today. The cool thing about coaching and training is to have a coach in front of your face that reminds you have to give your best every day. That reminds me every day you have to go through an audit list of yourself, the people you're around, the places you go. That's the reason why it's so important to be in a good company. That's why it's so important to build a good company. That's why it's so important to, take your family with you. So, hey, if you're like this all day in the office, but then you come home and your house is a trash can, well, let me ask you a question. Who's in charge of your house? Are you one of these people that goes, man, my wife doesn't get it? Well, you don't lead her. So is it her or is it you? It's you. You're the leader. Because I would ask every one of you, are you the leader of your family? Yes or no? Okay, cool. So the way that your family is right now is directly your responsibility, and you're failing. But you're thinking in your head right now, if I could just make more money, everything would change. No. If you could, leadership is in the community, it's at home, and it's in the business. It's in all three places. And if ever it's only in one place, you will fail miserably. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so anyways, my whole goal is to get today is to really share with you how to become the greatest leader in the world. If anybody here said, I want to be rich, I would say, number one, you got to be influential. Because leaders are. Okay? And I see people all the time like, I want to build a social media channel. Some reason my channel's not growing. I'm like, nobody wants to be you. And they're like, no, what's the algorithm? Nobody wants to be you, bro. Nobody. And you don't have to be anyone else. You have to be the authentic you. Okay? Dude, listen, I wear the shortest shorts ever. I'd cut the sleeves off everything I can find. Everything. My wife, listen, this is crazy. And then we're going to start training. Okay? And I promise you, I'm going to give you 50 minutes of heat. It'll be 50 minutes you'll never forget if you don't want to forget it. If you don't forget it, you'll become a legend if you can live it. I'm in Dubai. And this guy invites us, like out of the royal family or some shit, to go to dinner. And I'm like, I need this connection because I need this thing to happen. So I'm like, okay. And they're like, you got to wear a suit. I'm like, not happening. It's not going to happen. There's no way. And they're like, well, you got to wear at least a suit jacket. I'm like, not going to happen. I'm like, I wear Elliott everywhere I go. And they're like, yeah, they won't let you in like that. I'm like, well, I'm wearing shorts. They're like, you can't wear shorts. I'm like, we're not going. I'm like, but I need to go. So bottom line is again, be your authentic self. Does that make sense? Yeah. So they won't let you in without a jacket, right? And you got to wear pants. And this was just, a couple weeks ago. Remember that when I was wearing a suit or the coat? Anyways, so I said, fine. So I go and I find the tightest black slacks I could possibly find, right? And then I'm like, okay, yeah, these look like I'm not wearing any pants, so I'm cool. Looks like a black guy though, because they're black. And then I said, okay. And then Jackie finds this shirt. And, I like loop neck shirts, right? Like I don't like wearing real tight shirts a lot. So I'm like, oh no, we got to find a loop neck shirt. Couldn't find one. So long story short, she gets this shirt. It's like $2,500. It's a really nice shirt. And then she finds a jacket. So while Jackie's in the shower, and I've tried this shirt on, and I put the jacket on, I'm like, dude, I feel stupid. I'm like, I can't walk in and do what I do and feel like an idiot. So what do? Go straight to the kitchen, and I grab the scissors as fast as I can. Dude, I already know I'm going to be in trouble. And I start cutting the neck out of this bitch. Dude, listen, I know war's coming, but I know that I have to be me. And I cut the neck out of it, and I put it on, and I put my jacket on. Now it's got a big neck. And I'm like, okay, this feels like more like me, right? Long story short, I'm just telling you about being the authentic you. Listen, today when I share with you some things, honestly, maybe there's some things that I'm better at or that I do in your life that you're like, you know what, I'd like to do that. Boom. Steal it from me, take it. I'm not trying to kill the inner genius in any of you. I'm not trying to kill that artist that's on the inside of you that like makes you separate from everyone else. Just like you can't steal it from me, but I can learn from other people that I'm like, dude, like, why not? Why don't I do that? Like, that's a really good idea. And so long story short, my wife came out of the shower, I'm dressed, we're ready to go. And she's like, dude, you look really good. And I didn't tell her I cut the neck out of it. She doesn't really know what's going on, right? And because now it's just a wide neck, you know what I'm saying? And so I go out to dinner and dude, everybody's like, dude, where did you get that shirt? and Rafa, the workout guy that was with me, right? He's like, bro, that is the sickest shirt I've ever seen. And I finally am like, I'm not telling anybody I cut the neck out of it. And I go, all right. I'm going to get in trouble right now, but I'm going to tell everybody. So I cut the neck out of it. And Jackie's face, she goes like, what? And I'm like, I got the scissors when you're in the shower and I cut the neck out of it. And all of a sudden, she's like, you cut the freaking neck out of it? And I can tell that it bothered her. That's who I am. I've been that way for 20 years with her. Jackie married me because I'm not a pushover. She can't walk on me. But by the way, she also wants a leader of the house. And I also respect when she says something. I am me and she is her. And in this world, I don't think anyone respects anybody that really won't stand firm to who the fuck they are. Okay, so as cool as it is to learn from other people, you got to change. And you got to be around other people that have been able to get to places that you haven't got to and take a little of what they have and pull that in your life. But decide, like, what is your wild card? And whatever that wild card is, don't let it go. My wild card is fitness. I found it 5 years ago, and I said, dude, I'm never letting this go. I told Jackie, if I can't stay in shape, bury me. Bury me. Seriously, put a pillow over my head, put me out. If I get in a car, I'm not being disrespectful. I get in a car wreck, and I can't take care of myself, put me down. I don't want to do it. I have found my identity in taking care of myself. I love it. It feels good. I found self-esteem, self-confidence, self-belief. And there's people on the internet that go, I can't believe that. Well, what would you say to the people that can't work out? What would I say? Live your best life. For me, I'm my own wild card. Does that make sense? Yes. I know how I tick. You guys got to decide how do you tick and be unapologetic for it. Hey, I'm sorry, man. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. If that bothered you, get the fuck out of my face. There's 8 billion people in the world. I'm going to go find my people. My kids, they're savages. I don't cuss a lot, but when I do, sometimes they hear it, they know they can't cuss. They know the rules in the house. They know the game. I've told them the way the world is. I told them about boys, and I told them who wants to screw them and mess them over and freaking steal their mind. I've explained all these things. It's my job to armor my kids and get them ready for war. And some people like my kids, there was this post he did the other day where the girls showed their abs on stage, right? They worked so hard to get abs and get shredded. And people are like, I can't believe that. That's child abuse. If my kids are fucking out of shape and I'm their father and I'm their parent, that's because they're following me. Now, I'm in shape. I want to be an example. And lastly, I want to tell you this. If I was up here right now and I was fat and out of shape, would anybody even want to hear me? You guys say, man, get this guy out of here. If they don't want it, we live in an era, okay, where people hate the truth. They hate it. They hate it. Are you guys married?
No, brother, sister.
Okay, watch. But that's your brother. And you say, you're lazy. The reason why you're not making it is because you're lazy. If he's lazy and he gets mad, if it triggers you, these people that are like, I can't believe that. I go to their page, they're fat cows. They're fucking disgusting. They've influenced nobody. They have a private account. They have zero influence. Understand this. These people live to make other people stop winning. They hate the truth. They hate it. They hate the truth. It disgusts them. And so if you're ever lucky enough, and the message that would change my life forever, was that the truth was the thing I'd been avoiding for 40 years. And until I decided that the truth was the thing that I needed the most, the thing that hurts you, it triggers those things that you've been already questioning about yourself, that you know that you won't bring to the surface. Yes, I was lazy. Yes, I was not who I wanted to be. Honestly, if somebody came up to me and they're like, dude, you don't like you, I'd be like, dude, who are you to tell me I don't like you? You know what? The truth is, I didn't like me. I didn't like the way that I looked. I didn't like the way that I treated other people. I didn't like my intentions. My intentions had nothing to do with helping another human. I wanted to make money. And so I was chasing. I wasn't attracting. I wasn't proud of me. My kids didn't want to be like me. I was so consumed with trying to make money, I didn't even know what my kids were interested in. And if you told me I was a bad parent, I'd probably fight you. Because I knew I was a bad parent. I knew it, and that's why I would have fought you. But I would never go look in the mirror and own my shit. And so my goal with some of you in here today is just to remind you, the only way to change is with truth and honesty. It's what everybody avoids. Okay? Remember, the life that you want is in the work that you're avoiding. The reason why people hate top performance is because those people aren't avoiding the work and they're doing it and you're avoiding it, and that's why you hate them. Okay? I get up every morning, I go to the gym, I work out really hard, I eat clean food all day long. I want to eat pizza. But I know if I do, I know nobody's going to respect me. And I'm not going to be fucking used. Over my dead body will I be used by people. You're not going to use me. You're going to respect me and we're going to roll together. And I'm going to tell you the truth and I want you to tell me the truth. And if I mess up, I want you to tell me to my face. And I will own it and I will say, thank you, I owe you, and I will change. I have never wanted to hurt anybody. And that's the deal, is that when you tell someone the truth, they say, I can't believe you'd want to embarrass them. Did I embarrass them or did I just give them an opportunity to rise up? What eyes do you have in your head? You know? And so that's why I want to say today that I'm going to give you some hard truths, but if you are ever lucky enough to have a coach that will tell you the truth, stay with them until you die. If your wife tells you shit that you don't want to hear, understand she is the greatest resource in your life for accountability for you to grow, and you don't like it because you don't like accountability. She doesn't have a problem. Matter of fact, if your coach would just be your wife, which mine is, and I realize that my wife told me the truth for a very long time. I just didn't listen. Matter of fact, when she used to tell me the truth, I used to say, you're nagging me. Because you know what I wanted her to do? Just shut up and let me do what I wanted to do. That's why we never grew. I was an absolute loser. And so I come here to tell you that me making fun of me is my favorite thing to do. Me telling you that I can't tell any of you what to do, but I can tell you what I did. I latched on to any human that would tell me the truth. The more uncomfortable you made me feel, the more I wanted to be around you. The more direct you would be with me and the harder you would be with me, the more I respected you. And the more I got hard coaching, the faster I grew. The reason why I never got what I wanted in life, and I wasn't proud of me or my businesses, and I made some money, but that doesn't make you successful. If your definition of success is money, you're freaking dead. Money will never be enough. You will get rich when you become a leader. And so my message today to everybody is, you guys, this is Eric's private group. This is Eric's, people that he wants to go the furthest with. And so you have to become a leader. Do you guys want to be used by people your whole life?
No.
Does anybody know somebody right now that has a lot of money, but literally everybody just uses the shit out of them for anything they can get? Yup. Ain't going to be me. You're going to respect me and I'm going to respect you. And so my goal today is to teach you how to get respect. And nobody respects someone who's not a leader. And so if you want to know the hack, in the world right now, there's hardly any leaders. And so if you want to be great, you got to become a badass leader. Is that cool? Yeah. You guys feel good? You feel like this message is okay? Yeah. Okay, cool. Because Eric told me to make sure I shared a good message. Okay, all right, guys. Hey, have a seat. All right, so listen. And number one, training doesn't have to be long. Does that make sense? Yep. Honestly, it doesn't have to be long. Look, I'm going to make a goal with you. I'll be out of here by 3:10. Let's go. That's 40 minutes. And by the way, I don't do slides. I have all this memorized right here. But I know some of you like to take pictures. You want to write things down. I want to tell you the reason why I made some slides right here is because I don't want you to kind of get what I'm saying. I want you to remember word for word and memorize every one of these slides for you so that you have a human slide in your head all day long. Okay, so number one, what is leadership? It's a skill of influence. It's not a position. So if you have a title, some of you in here, you have a title in your company, that means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Dude, listen to me. People will use the boss. They'll use them for a paycheck. Okay? They'll work for the leader for blood, sweat, and tears. If you want people, and by the way, listen, some of you in here, everybody's in a different place, right? Some of you, it's like you're like, Andy, but I don't have a team. Can I just smack the shit out of you to let you know that if you ever want to build anything massive, you're going to have a team? Do you understand? Does everybody get it, yes or no? Yes. Okay, are you ready? Let's do some simple math. How many hours do you have in a day? How many hours do you have in a day? 24. If you hired 100 people right now, how many hours do you have in a day? 2,400. Do you want 24 or 2,400? How valuable are you on your own?
Not as valuable as 100.
If he has one and he has 100, he's going to slaughter him. He is non-existent. I don't give a shit who he says he is or how badass he says he is. We will put him out of business. Do you understand? Don't become a leader. Don't become a leader. You're not going to be remembered. You'll never build an empire. Stop telling people you want a big life. If it's only for you, you're out. Now, in the beginning, you must become what others desire to become. Does that make sense? So if you're in the room today, I have to make you great. I run a sales team. So if my sales team doesn't see that I'm the baddest ass motherfucker on planet Earth, I promise you, dude, they're not going to respect me. Now, it doesn't mean that I need to do the work and do all the selling. They just need to know that I am that badass. And they respect that badass, so they'll hustle for that badass. And you must do the same thing, and you must do the same thing, and you must do the same thing. Look, you can't give people what you don't have. You can't ask people to become what you're not. And you can't have people experience what you're not experiencing in your life. Okay? Do you guys love sales?
Yes.
Yeah, some of you are like, I'm just doing sales because it makes me money. You're going to go nowhere. Be obsessed or be nothing. Look, some of you in here, you better really start changing the way that you think, because if you don't fall in love with learning, you're out. You're out. If you're in this room right now and you're not like so freaking excited and ecstatic that you get to learn, you're dead. You're one of these dead people that are walking among the dead. And you're looking at other people talking shit on everybody, you're a freaking loser. I want you to know you have to fall in love with learning. So step one with me was like fall in love with learning. I had to. Honestly, I thought I had a learning disability. I thought I wasn't good at learning. You know what I learned? I got to write shit down. That was the thing I was missing my whole life. I got to write shit down. And then when I write it down, sometimes I got to write it down 15 more times. It's just the truth. Sometimes one time isn't enough. People are like, I did write it down. Let's write it down 15 more times. Come on, man. Like if you wrote it down 15 more times, would you get it? Well, if I did it 15 more times, then do it 30 times. Like why do people, like how many times, I hate it when somebody says, hey, I'm like, I need you to role play till you get it down. Well, how many times? He's already trying to put a number on how many tries he has to have. How about until you pass out? And then if he's like, all right, I'm going to pass out. Cool, he's going to win. Anytime someone says, how many times should I call him before I stop? You're already out. Did they reach out and request some information from our company? Yes or no? Yes? How about till you get a hold of them? I don't know the number. If I knew it, I'd go to Vegas. And I'd just bet and gamble because I would know everything. I don't know. But I know if you keep calling them, one day they're going to tell you to stop or they're going to answer and buy something from you. I don't know. But dude, I don't think anybody grabbed their hand and made them type on the keyboard about requesting information on our product. Hey, what if they're busy? Are you guys busy? I'm busy. Last night I wanted to buy something. 2 a.m. I was like, dude, I want to buy this. Guy calls me this morning, 8 a.m. I'm busy. Do I want it? Yes. I'm busy. Will he continue to call me until I'm not busy? I don't know. We'll see. But that's the game. Do you guys get it? You guys have to understand. If anyone says, you call the lead 7 times, no. There's going to be compliance. You can only call in these hours. You can do this. You can do that. But if somebody requests information, you can call them as many times as you want until they opt out or they buy. And that's like the buy or die mentality. But most salespeople want to know how many times. What does that mean? That's like saying going to the gym and saying, do 3 sets of 10. Dude, really the reps don't even start till you get to 10. Okay? I mean, honestly, how about this? At 10, if you can't go anymore, then how about 11 through 20 is where we grow? And you're like, that doesn't sound like fun. You know what's funner than fun? Winning. It sucks to lose, doesn't it? Dude, listen, some of you in here right now, you don't have the bank account you want. You don't have the respect. You look in the mirror, you're not proud of yourself. You don't have the team you want. Matter of fact, you don't even dream anymore. If you're in this room and you're not dreaming, you're f***ing dead. You got to change these things. You got to wake up. You got to get around people, man, that are hungry. There's this thing that I learned. The difference between winners and losers is winners are hungry. And by the way, winners can become losers. They stop being hungry. And some of you, also another reason why you'll never make it is you're a fucking skeptic. What if I do everything this guy says and it doesn't work? You're already done. You're already out. How about this? I wouldn't tell you to do something if it didn't work for me. And I'm willing to bet I'm not as smart as any of you in here. But you know what? I never asked, how many times do I have to call? I said, I'm going to call until I die. I said, I'm going to train until I become great. How many times? You're out. Write it down until you pass out. Learn it until you can breathe it. When you breathe it, then you can actually connect with clients for real. You don't have to think anymore. Anytime you have to go internal, which means what do I have to say? You disconnect from the client if you're in sales. You want to learn this shit so good that it's all external. It's all external. It's like I can sit here and talk to her and I don't even have to think. I've been through this play a billion times. I have had this one conversation 1,000,000 times. I've had this one conversation more than any human being has ever had this conversation in their life. The only thing that I need to do is connect with her and have this conversation. Does that make sense? See, now you guys are starting to realize I haven't trained enough. I haven't trained enough. And so I want to tell you guys, leadership isn't a position, it's a skill of influence. How do I pass this?
Just touch it.
Just tap it? Like that? Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, so do you guys ever see somebody that has something that you want?
Yes.
That's called a skill. Okay, if I can hold the room's attention, that's a skill. If I can look at someone's in the eyes and shake their hand and make them look at me back in the eye and shake my hand and stop thinking about anything else and pay attention to what I'm saying, that's a skill. Anything that any human being can do, it's a skill. And anything that's a skill can be learned and can be taught. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, this next 30 minutes, your goal is to learn, and with Eric, learn every single skill that you can. And learn it so that number one, you can replicate it, and number two, so that you can teach it. Look, just so everybody's aware, I sit right here all the time and I let people teach me. Also, everything that I learn, I teach, right? Your goal isn't to learn so that you can leave here and be the best. Your goal is so that you can learn, leave here, be the best, and then also make others the best. So if you learn this stuff today, but you can't teach it, you're out. That's why you have to pay attention. That's why it's like leadership isn't a skill, right? Leadership isn't, wait, what did he say? You can never get in front of your room and tell your team that because you never learned it, you halfway paid attention, you were casually learning, right? Remember this, anything that can be taught is a skill, right? This is a big one. What's your life look like right now? I tell people all the time, you want a new life? The quality of your life will always come down to the level of your leadership. The life you have now, every one of you, the bank account that you have now is because of the leader you are. If you want to make more money, be a better leader. If you want a badass marriage, be a better leader. If you want to freaking be an awesome dad, you got kids? Be a better leader. If you want to go out and recruit the baddest ass son of a bitches on planet Earth for your team, you can only do that if you're the best leader. Dude, I can walk into any room, and every time I do, when I leave, if I said, if you guys want to come work for me, follow me out. They would all follow me. And by the way, if everybody wants to know what I live for, I live to have it all. I'm going to be totally clear. What I'm teaching you today, if you'll start to understand, and it's like paint by numbers, I know who I am and I know what I want. I know what I want so I can attack it viciously. I want to have it all. I don't want to make money and then not have a good marriage. I don't want to have a good marriage, make money, and then not be a good dad. I don't want to be a good dad, have a good marriage, make money, and not be in shape. I don't want it. If it requires me to not be in shape, but to make a lot of money, I'd rather be fucking broke. I don't want to do it. And by the way, that's not an option to do it, because I am going to make money. I am going to be in shape. I am going to be a good dad. I am going to be a great husband. I am going to like me. I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to inspire other people. I want this, and there's nothing. I want to be close to God. These are the things that I'm going to do. And people say, oh, he can't be a Christian because he cusses. I am an absolute rebel. I will be out on the street any day. I talk to people that can understand my language, and I don't want to be in the church on the front line. I'm out on the streets in the front line. No, like this is the way I think. You can think however you think. Some of you are like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Look, you judge everybody. I don't judge anyone. You know what I believe? The greatest leaders never judge anyone. They have grace on everyone. They know that everyone is one decision away to come back. That no one's ever defined by their last mistake. I'm not. And so I'm not. I'm damn sure if you screw up right now, I'll be like, dude, that's not who you are. What did I say? Dude, that's not who you are. Yeah, sure, I saw what you did. And all these other people are going to hate you, but I'm not going to hate you. I burned my life to the ground so many times, but I always got back on track. And I realized I don't want to keep burning it down. And every time I get a little closer to the line, every lesson to me helps me get closer to who I'm supposed to be. It's good, man. You got to mess up, dude. You got to hurt people. Yeah, we saw what you did. I know. And that hurt the hell out of me, hurting that person, and I wish I could take it back, but I can't, but now I'm not going to do it anymore. And then a year from now, you're going to do it again on accident. What are you going to do, quit? Nope. You got grace, get back on track. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Sometimes you have to go through these things, these nasty, ugly things, to really understand who you want to be. Sometimes pain is the greatest teacher. Sometimes you have to go through so much pain. And a lot of you in here that aren't who you want to be, it's because you haven't had enough pain yet. It truly is. I have had so much pain that I've caused that I understand now really clearly who I want to be, and it's a non-negotiable. I'm not wavering off of it. I'm not for sale. What I would love is for some of you to never make decisions based off money. You're going to get rich when you become who you're supposed to become. You will get rich. Listen, and people say, well, Andy, how everybody is trying to buy me off. I'm trying to become who I'm supposed to be, but for some reason I'm going broke. Can I tell you something? There is a billionaire walking around out there right now. And you know who he has? The wrong person in charge of his company. And he is looking for a badass leader to hire right now. And you don't even have to be skilled in his industry. And if he just saw you as the human that he wished could run his company, he would hire you and pay you whatever you wanted. That's why you must understand when you become who you're supposed to be. I don't care if you own your own company or if you're the baddest ass number two for someone else. The point is, everybody wants you. When you walk into a room, is everybody trying to recruit you and hire you? And I don't mean the losers, the ones that got the startup companies, that always have ideas that never go anywhere. Right? They're trying to recruit everybody. I'm talking real players. They're like, bro, whoa, can I pick you up on my private jet? I need to talk to you. I don't know what it is. And they'll say things like this, because you're so fucking attracting. They're like, and they'll say, I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I have to roll with you. I know that sounds weird, and they'll say, I've never had this conversation. I'm not sure even what I want to do with you. I just know that I need you to be a part of what I'm doing. Isn't that powerful? Have you ever met someone and you're like, I don't know where I would put you, but I just know I have to have you in my company? Have you ever felt that way? Dude, when you meet these people, you're willing to pay anything, you're willing to do everything, and you will make exceptions after exceptions after exceptions for these people because they're like an albino deer. It's like finding a damn unicorn. I want to ask you guys, are you a unicorn? You can't, hold on, but here's the key. You can't tell people you're a unicorn. Everyone has to say you're the unicorn. See, that's the deal. I ask everybody all the time, I'm like, are you a killer? They're like, I'm a killer. And I'm like, well, ain't no one else came up to you every day and told you you're a killer? You're probably not one. If you walk in the office and people are like, dude, you're bad. You're bad. She doesn't need to go tell anybody she's a badass. They're telling her she's a badass. Who you say you are means absolutely nothing. And so that's why I want you to be a leader, because I believe everybody in this world wants to find their identity. They want to become the best version of themselves. They want to be around people to push them. Why can't you guys all become that? Do you understand what happens when you become this? Do you understand? Every door opens. You want every door to open? I don't need you guys to decide what you want. I just need to know, do you want every door to open? Do you want to have access to whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want? Yes or no? Yes. Be the baddest ass son of the that ever walked around. And by the way, I'm a very loving person. I wear my heart right here on my sleeve. I'll do anything for any one of you. Ask me for anything, the answer is yes. I will always give whatever I can give. I ask God, God, if you'll change my life, I'll spend the rest of my life trying to change other people's lives. I promise. But I didn't say I would be civilized. I didn't conform to the world. You know what I learned? The more that I have lost my mind to modern day society, the more that I have found my mind. The more disconnected I can be with the way that people live, the more peaceful I am. I don't want to be like anybody else. Look, dude, I got a couple buddies. When I first got in this space, I met Andy Frizella, a good buddy of mine, Ed Milet, Tim Grover, Brad Lee, Patrick Bet-David. I started to spend time with these guys and become their friends. And by the way, when I first started watching their content, like some of you, right? Like, anybody ever watched Andy Frizella? Do you guys like his message? Question, if he ran across you, would he be like, bro, fly out, come to my house this weekend. I want to spend some time with you. That's what you want him to say, am I right? First time I ran into him, he said, bro, you're flying out. You're coming to spend time with me and my wife. I need you out at the headquarters, and then afterwards we're going to go have dinner at my house. Why? Rebel. This guy's out. Listen, can I explain one simple thing? You know all those guys that laughed at you? All of them that are going to laugh at you when you change? All those people that absolutely do nothing for anyone their whole life? How good is it going to feel when you change and shove it down their throats? And you don't have to tell them. They'll see it. They'll see it. And so like this life that I'm after is a life of full accountability. See, when I got out on the internet and I told people how I was going to live, I knew if there was ever a day that I changed back, I knew I'd be made fun of for the rest of my life because I didn't keep my word. But the haters aren't going to do anything. They're always going to make fun of everybody no matter what. You know why I talk about fitness all the time? You want me to give you a hack? Because I know that people are waiting for me to get unfit one day and not keep my word. You guys, has anybody ever been in elite shape at some point in their life? How hard was it to stay in elite shape? It's hard to stay in it, isn't it? Guess what? I got to roll like this till they bury me. I do. How good does it feel to have that pressure and that accountability on you? You see why when you get in this zone and you start telling people what you're going to do, but then you really do it, every week they're seeing like progress because you are getting closer. It doesn't take that long to change your life, but the goal is you can never change back. Do you get it? You guys don't want to change back, do you? No. So that's the goal. So my goal is be the craziest son of a bitch out there, help as many people as I can, put my accountability out on the internet. Why? Truly, I don't give a shit how these people think. I just know it's an accountability tool for me. I know if I ever not keep my word, I know they're going to freaking torch me. So I love it. I love it. I'm going to stay this way till I die. And by the way, lastly, another deal why I like documenting what we're doing on the internet. Well, number one, everybody's on their phone. Like this thing, this is how people live now. But my children, when I die, they're going to be able to go see how their dad lived. Priceless. People are like, oh, social media. Honestly, I'm documenting my life. I went from being a loser to a winner. I went from being a fat guy to being in shape. I went from being no one who only wanted to make money to a guy who lived for helping people now. I went from a person that wanted to please everybody, that was a pushover and an ass kisser, to now I'm like, F you, eat shit. And you know why? Because every one of those people, just so you're aware, that I took care of, they all burned me anyways. They all screwed me in the end. I chose them over my family in a lot of cases. A lot of them I did. And they all burned me. So I just learned, I'm like, why the hell am I worried about what anyone else thinks about me? Dude, listen, man, if someone ever talks shit on someone, they're a loser. I've never commented on somebody's post. I might have seen something and I'm like, wow, this is inspiring. But if I even thought of anything negative about something, I wouldn't even comment because I don't comment negative stuff. I want you guys to know you must change everything about your life. And I call that just being a leader. Does that make sense? Okay, so listen, the quality of your life, the life that you have right now is because of the leader you are right now. So if you change the leader who you are right now, all this will change. All right, people always say, I want to make more money. Everybody in here wants to make more money, right? There's only one way to make more money. It's to increase your value. So when someone comes up to me and they're like, dude, I want to make more money. I'm like, cool, money made, money paid. And they're like, yeah, but you know, I'm like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Are you asking me for free money? Or do you want to increase your value and help me move the needle and then I pay you more money? I need to understand. That's a fair question, right? So some of you are in here, you're like, dude, I've been working my ass off and I'm not making enough money. Yeah, but you haven't increased your value. Guys, if hard work was enough, every construction worker out there would be rich. They work their ass off. Are you kidding me? That's why you have to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. What you guys are doing in here will get you further ahead one day doing this than 1 year of working hard, not learning. So you choose how you want to live. This right here is something that most people will never understand. So what is the scarcest resource? It's leadership. Yep, that's it. It's being a leader. So if you want everyone to pay you all the money, what you have to do is find out what is the scarcest thing on planet Earth. Leaders. Every company right now would double their revenue if they had the right leader. Am I right? Son of a bitch. And some of you are in here, you're like, but how do I make more money? If you were a better leader, then the people that were in the company would be led better, and then the revenue would double. And here you are asking me for a raise. Leadership, 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 not managers. Your goal, listen, all of you guys in here, by the way, AKA, what is a leader? It's a coach. That's what you guys are. You guys are all coaches. But you'll never listen to a coach that doesn't do the work himself and that doesn't live the way that he's asking you to live. I can't respect anybody that won't do what they're asking me to do. I used to have managers, they're like, we got to work harder. I'm like, bro, you're a Barstool warrior. You are a warrior from your desk and you sit there and you're telling me I need to work harder. I don't respect you. But if that guy would get off his ass and come out with me on the front lines, I'll do anything for that guy. I just can't respect someone that doesn't want to go through it with me. And there is times, which you need to understand if you're a number 2 in here, which by the way, for a lot of you, having your own business is not as cool as you think it is. Okay? You know, a lot of you right now, if you got sued, you guys would shit your pants. And you got sued again and 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 sued again. That's what happens when you own your own business. Everybody's trying to fuck you. But if you're the number 2, you don't get sued. You don't. Number 1 gets sued. Number 2 doesn't get sued. Number 2 helps number 1. So if some of you guys in here don't want the ugly, 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 don't think I want to own my own business. Think I want to find someone who has a business that I believe in their standards, their core values and alignment, and I want to blow their shit up. And you become the baddest ass son of a bitch ever, and you will get paid unbelievable to be an awesome number 2. And you'll have a better life. Does that make sense? Just putting that out there, because everybody's like wanting to own their own businesses now and all that shit, and most of them aren't making it. Look, dude, if you can't be a number 2 for someone else, you damn sure can't be a number 1. Do you feel me? Okay, so I'm just sharing some things with you. Is this helping some of you guys? Yes. Okay, cool. And by the way, as I'm talking to you guys, I want you to learn some of the things that really helped me process who I wanted to be, what was my next move. Everybody's got a next move when they get out of here, am I right? Okay, my goal is to help you process that next move. What's your next play? What's the first thing you do when I'm done talking today? That's what I want to help you achieve. And that thing, if I can help you get there, that may help you from being paralyzed for the next 6 years. You feel me? This is the era to wake up right here. Okay. To influence the thoughts, the feelings, and the emotions and the actions of another human being. People always ask me, Andy, if I'm a leader, what is my job? Right there. I call this human capital. Human capital, I'm all about relationship capital. My relationship with you means a lot, and I put a lot into that because I want that relationship to go. If we put seeds in the ground and it's a tree and we don't water it, it doesn't come up. Some of you don't know how to take care of relationships, but if you're a leader, your goal is to build human capital. It's to build humans. Do you feel me? How old are you? 22. Okay, as I'm talking to you, you see the cameras moving around, right? And it's like you keep looking at them, right? That's a distraction. We live in an era where it's never been easier to be distracted and it's never been easier to win. You guys are going to have this shit all around you. I don't notice this stuff. Is there any value in me to notice a distraction? Yes or no? How many of you guys, you sit down, you're like, today's going to be a big day. And all of a sudden, by the way, when you wake up, your plan is not to check notifications on your phone. Am I right? Like you don't wake up and you're like, my goal today is I'm going to answer my notifications on my phone faster than anybody else. No, your goal is to say, I'm going to kill it today. And all of a sudden, that phone lights up. And that lights up again, lights up again, lights up again, lights up again, lights up again. What did you say you were going to do? You were going to kill it today. You have to be able to ignore the distractions. And so like when I watch your eyes, I just say when I see things move around, right? I see people, they see things and they're moving. I'm like, dude, if that camera can throw you off, if that guy coming in the room, if a person sneezing throws you off, you're not being aware. You don't really care about what I'm saying. The camera's more important than me. Okay? Remember I said don't care about what other people, who gives a shit what he's doing? He could be doing cartwheels. What does it matter? This is the time for you to learn. Do you feel me? Yeah. And by the way, when you say I'm going to wake up and kill, how many other 911s are going to get in the way for you from that killing? By the way, a distraction is a 911 because everything becomes a 911 to people because they're avoiding the work. Yeah, I woke up this morning, man, I was going to do this thing, but then, had these 3 other things happen. Okay, what did you say you were going to do? You said you were going to do that. Could you have not done that and then at the end of the day handled those things? Yeah, but I could have, but you didn't though. And that's why you're running on a treadmill. That's why you'll never get ahead. And that's why all the 911s in life that actually, the biggest thing is when something comes up and you believe it's urgent, really what you're doing is giving yourself an excuse to not do the work that's in front of you. You guys know it. Listen, here's how I am in my company. Okay? Whatever you have, okay, I won't even see it or recognize it until after 6 p.m. So no matter what you send me, I'm not going to see it until after 6. Do you understand? Okay. It doesn't matter. And then in the afternoon, I'll go through and then I'll look at everything and I'll solve before I go to bed. I want to tell you guys something. If you don't put out non-negotiables and boundaries and rules, you will never be able to scale and grow. And by the way, people are so good. We live in an era of 2 things. The greatest excuse makers I've ever seen. Honestly, you guys' excuses are so good. You're like the best salespeople in the world on selling other people why you got to do this right now. You're so good. Problem is, it's what's keeping you broke. If you would just take that and do that into what you're supposed to be doing, you'd be rich. And then secondly, we're in an era right now of the best interviewer I've ever seen in my life. People show up for a job and they will tell you everything you want to hear. And honestly, they're so good. But when they show up, they don't do anything they said they could do. We have people that know marketing like the back of their hand, but can't do marketing. Let me explain. People who show up and can tell us everything in the world about marketing. They could literally teach the marketing course. But when you put them in charge of your ads, they can't make you money. We have people that show up on a sales team that tell us how great they are at sales and how they'll move the needle. And they can do all these things. And they tell us about all their experience. And they show up and they can't close. They can't sell. They can't stay focused. Dude, listen, what is a leader? To actually be able to do what it is that you say you can do. Okay? That's it. That's how you guys want to be. You don't want to be one of these people. And by the way, when you see somebody say they can do something and they can actually do it, how impressive is it? This is crazy. I met Brad Lee 4 years ago. We became like brothers, best friends. And we were starting this thing together. And he told me, he goes, Andy, this is what I need. And I go, bro, I'm not just going to do that. I'm going to do that and this. And he goes, Andy, stop. He goes, if you could just do what I want and what you say you can do, I would be mind blown. I'm like, that's stupid. And I didn't really understand what he was trying to tell me. But over the last 4 years, I've cracked up many times because I did do what he wanted and I did more. And I blew his mind, and that's why we became brothers, because I kept my word. I want to tell you guys, most people, this is the way the world is right now. You tell them what you want, and they immediately want to start throwing all these other ideas and all the other things around it they can also do. I didn't ask about any of that shit. I want to know, can you do this? Yes or no? Yes? Do it. And if you can do it, you're the most valuable person in the room. You guys feel me? I'm trying to explain how to stand out. I read this book called Lynchpin, and it was like, we're in a new revolution where you guys can become whatever you want, but you have to be able to stand out, you have to be able to be different, and you have to be able to make relationships that others can't. So when I read this book in like 2019 and I started my business, I was like, Grant Cardone wears a suit. This guy wears this guy does this. I'm like, okay, how am I gonna not be like any of these guys and be a total freaking rebel and off-breed? I don't want to be like these guys. I've learned from these guys, but I don't want to be them. Does that make sense? You know, and like Eric Klein, he's all tatted up, right? I like that. But back in the old days, I remember you see people with tattoos, you're like, oh, that guy's never gonna move up the rank. He's got tattoos all over his arm. That's the way people used to think. Do you feel me? But now we live in an era, man, where anyone can make it. Anyone can be anything. You just got to really do what it is you say you're going to do. You got to, look, money gets traded for results. It doesn't get traded for time. You know, and so when I come in the office, guys, like I made 500 calls yesterday. I'm like, don't give a shit. What were the results? Yeah, but you know, people don't trade money for time. That's why when you get really good at something, you can work less time if you want and make more money. Or you can decide to be an owner, be great at something, and teach other people to do that, and you can work on the business. Now listen, also, be very careful. If somebody's an owner of a company, a lot of people, owners have to leave companies. Does that make sense? Everybody listen to me. Owners have to get out of the company, because if they're in the company, they can't grow the company. Does that make sense? So if I want to be a number two, if you own the company, my goal is to be so good, I can get him the hell out of here. You know why? Because if he can get out of here, he can step away and work on it while I'm in it. But if he's in it and I'm in it, I'm really not a number two, he's the number two. So I want him out. Why? So he can go figure out, I'm in it. I'm in the crash site. What's going on? I've shots being fired all around me all day long. But he's over there, and he can see in it and help guide me where to go. You ever seen those stealth planes flying over the sky no one can see? They're like the eye in the sky. But then they radio down and they tell people where trouble is. That's what the owner is supposed to be. Radioing down to the team and telling the leader what they see. That's him working on the business. But we have to get these owners out of the business so they can grow the business. They have to grow, they have to get up there so we can all make more money. Does that make sense? And so some of you, just listen to me. If you're building a business for someone else, your goal is not to be like, well, I don't ever see the owner anymore. That was the goal. Get him out of there. Didn't you ask to be in charge? Yes or no? Yes? Get him out. And if you're an owner, you want to have a guy like me that's wanting to get you out. Not so you can go home and sit on the couch and eat Cheetos, but that so you can help us grow this thing. But I can't grow my business if I'm inside of it making sales calls all day. I grow it back here. And then they're making the calls, but I'm like, oh, we need to do this. Oh, we need to dump money in here. Oh, we need to do this. Oh, we need to do this. And then everybody gets paid more. Do you feel me? Yes. The time that I've learned that our company was the most stagnant and didn't grow was when I couldn't disconnect from it. The whole goal is everyone should protect to keep the owner out. So the owner can work on when they work in, and everyone grows and makes more money together. Do you guys feel me? People don't talk like this though, do they? No. The owner leaves and then people start to have side conversations. He's not ever here anymore. You're so immature, dude. You're so immature. I can't believe we even hired you. I thought by this point, you being here for a few years by now, that you would actually understand wisdom and what's freaking going on. Okay, so key word, maturity and wisdom. If you're ever going to invest in somebody, make sure you invest in people who can mature and who can be wise, but also, it's a double-edged sword, don't become too smart. People that become too smart avoid the hard work that got us to where we're at. There's always that guy in your company that's like, I don't want to work hard anymore, I want to work smart. And what they're forgetting is that we got to where we're at. We got to where we're at in our company today by hard work. And if we remove the hard work, we lose everything. And we don't respect ourselves anymore. You slowly start to think there's some breakthrough magic trick or thing that's going to make it. No, hard work will always get you there. Okay? But you got to protect each other because there's got to be different people. Does that make sense? Moved around companies. Does that help you guys? Okay, cool. I'm going to try to move faster. The biggest challenges for business. This right here is probably the number one thing. Every single business that's out there, what does that say? They think they've maxed out what's possible. Owners, salespeople, leaders, anyone. Once you believe in your mind that this is the most I can make, you're finished. You need replaced. You'll lose everyone in your company. You'll lose everyone on your team. I said right here, once that happens, your belief controls you and you miss the innovation. Guys, your belief is like super powerful. Be very careful. I love people that are hard-headed, they think strong, but you got to be open to also realize that there's always growth. It's so stupid for you. Everybody always looks up to these people that shoot up in business. All they did was believe that there was a lot more meat on the bone. And they got the meat. And once you get to a certain point in life, you start thinking, I'm just giving an example. I was 18, I made 125 grand selling cars. 19, I made 225. They said that was the most you could make in the car business. By 20, I made 500 grand. Everybody else goes, how did you do it? I thought there was more meat on the bone. They didn't, so they didn't make it. How much more money is there in your life? As much as you want. It's all in your belief. Don't miss the innovation, okay? You must believe. Once you think that what we have is maxed out, you need to be replaced. You're stepping into mediocrity, okay? This says 3 things you must know, and I've said this a million times. Everybody in this room, I have people ask me, Andy, how do I know if what I'm doing is the right thing? Right? Like, I don't need everybody in here to decide what they're going to do for the rest of their life, but I want you to think about what you're doing right now. Ask yourself these 3 questions. Do I think that there's treasure in my business? You have to ask yourself this, like what you're currently now doing. Do you, not does Eric Klein, screw him, screw me, screw everyone. Do you believe that there's treasure in what you're doing right now? If the answer is yes, go to number 2. Do I believe I'll find it? Listen, I am a badass coach. I love it and I can make a lot of money doing it. But I believe that I was going to find it. See, there's a lot of people that believe that there's treasure in coaching, but they really don't believe they're going to find it. You're out. I have to believe there's treasure in my business. I have to believe that I'll find it. Lastly, is it worth it? You guys are all going to go to hell. You're going to go through hell to try to find this next level in your life. Do you understand? It's just hard. Let's be real, okay? I'd be lying to you if I said that there's tons of sleepless nights. There's tons, listen, you'll be hospitalized maybe once or twice because you go crazy. But is it worth it? Is it worth it? 2019 in November, I would make a decision that I needed a coach. I needed one. And I would go and start to spend money investing on me, which was the greatest thing ever, because the S&P 500, if you go put $1,000 in it in a year, you'll have 1,100. If you go spend $1,000 on yourself in a year, you could have 100,000, you could have 1,000,000. Honestly, it just depends on how good you are at learning and how much you're willing to change, how quick you'll take action, and then will you not change back. And the compound of that is insane. And I would just realize that I needed a coach. I want to pay people who have been where I haven't been, or someone to even push me. I'm in really, I was going to say I'm a business person. So when I talk about fitness, I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not anything like that. I'm a business athlete. I want to be a businessman. I'm 45 years old. I want to look like an athlete. That's what my goal is. In this last year, I've made a decision that I want to put on more muscle. I want to get leaner, and I want to rechange my body. And so I went to Dubai for 2 months with my family. When I did, I hired a fitness coach. He was more expensive than the other ones. I told him what I wanted. I believed that he could get it to me. And I went 195, right? And I was about 9% body fat. I came back 205 and at about 7% body fat. The first thing the guy did was ask me a simple question. How do you train right now? I told him, I said, I do machines. I don't want to get hurt. My goal is as I get older is to stay in great shape, but I don't want to get injured. I kind of went through this play, and he goes, all right, no more machines. He goes, we're going to shock your body. We're not going to touch a machine. And honestly, I knew that already. I knew I'd been maintaining with these machines. As hard as I wanted to work out on machines, I was never going to change. I'd been doing machines for 2 years. I had convinced myself I was the chokehold that my body didn't need free weights, it needed machines. Because I didn't want to get hurt, I needed to do machines. But can I ask you a question? If you do the right form in the right way, and you do them right with free weight, it's just as good. It's just that I was stuck in that way. He switches me to free weights, I go up 10 pounds in weight and I get leaner. What does that mean? Number one, you guys have to keep shocking your body. You have to keep shocking your life. You have to keep getting around people that are challenging you and pushing you to do the other shit that you don't want to do. I've been avoiding those free weights. I really have. And I was saying stuff to myself like, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to do squats because I got bad knees. I got a bad back. No, you know the reason why I got a bad back is because I don't work on my hamstrings, I don't work on my ass, and I don't work on my lower back because I can't see them and I can only see the front side of me. I've got abs, but my ass isn't strong. First thing that he did the first week is everything we did was glute, ass, and lower back. I'm like, dude, I want to work he's like, shut up. No, it's like I walked in one time and I had this nerve deal that was pinched in my upper shoulder. And I kept going to these massage therapists, right? And I'm like, it's right here. And everybody kept rubbing the hell out of it. But then I met this lady and she's like, it's not even there. She's like, it's coming down from your sciatic nerve. That connects through that. And amateurs will go there, but it's right there. And she would unlock me and make me do some weird shit that I didn't honestly trust her. It went away immediately. When you find the right coach, it'll change your whole life. The right coach is the person, the right coach for you is the person that won't let you stay the same, will tell you the truth, doesn't care about your feelings. They don't care. They care about you as a human and they love you, but they know that you're trading your time and your money for results. And so their number one goal is to get results out of you. And if you'll listen to them and you'll trust them, I guarantee you'll come up with results every single time. And then there's just a rule. You train with these people till you outgrow them, and then you go find someone else, and you find someone else, and your whole life, you know that you need someone pushing you. So you find the craziest son of a bitches that you can that align with your values. And you pay them, because when you pay them, they push you harder and you make more money. It costs you money to keep your money and not get a coach. When you pay for a coach, you make money. It's just be the client that you want. You guys all want your clients to say yes, right? When you find the right coach, say yes. Just say yes. And by the way, that scarcity, I had poverty and freaking scarcity beaten into me at a core level as a kid. Some of you guys have that beaten into you. You got to step out of that and step into abundance. If you don't, you're screwed. All right, I'm going to wrap this up here in 10 minutes. Let's roll. So I said this, changing the psychology of the leader will change the business faster than anything else. It's all here. Changing the psychology of the leader will change the business, will change your income faster than anything else. What does psychology mean? The way you think. Changing the way you think. Okay? By the way, you're the gatekeeper to your mind, right? If something comes out of your mouth, it's because you let it in your mind. Every one of you, you have eyes and ears. Change the way you see, and don't let shit come in your ears and in your mind if you know it's not good for you. So if somebody comes up and they're like, man, dude, did you see her over there? She's doing this. I'm like, registering. She's complaining. And I'm like, hey, go sell that shit to someone else because I'm not hearing it. Wait, what's your deal? I don't have a deal. Are you complaining or are you trying to solve a problem? Well, no, I wanted to tell you what she was doing so we could figure out how to help her. Well, it sounds like you're complaining. It sounds like you're complaining. I'm not going to hear it. Do you guys have the courage to tell someone to shut the hell up? How you're talking to me, I'm not interested in having these conversations. Listen, the sooner that you can go from who you are now to that, and by the way, I'm not disrespectful. I love you. I just don't want to have you complain to me. Me listening, you may say, well, I don't complain, but listening to someone else complain to you about someone else, you're still as bad as them. Just understand what I'm saying. I want you to live where at the end of the day, if there was no one around, you could look at yourself in the mirror and you could say, I live today who I wanted to live to be. Screw what everyone else thinks. Most of you will only do things because other people can see you do them. Can I tell all of you something? You're not going to be successful until you get to a point to where you don't need validation from anyone else. Once you no longer need validation from any other human being, it's over. Because you got to live with you till you die. So if I'm like, I don't need, look, let's say I look up to you. But one day you're like, you know what, man, I think what you're doing is off. But I don't feel like what I'm doing is off. I respect and I'm processing what you're telling me, but I don't need her validation. I don't need it. And some of you right now, you're waiting for someone to tell you that you're capable of making it. That's exactly why you're going to stay the fucking same. No one in this room, listen to me guys, I own a 9-figure-a-year business. No one in this room believed that I could build that. No one. Not one human. So if not one human believed that I could build it, I would have been a fool looking around to find someone who would tell me that I could build it. Because I wouldn't have found it, which means I wouldn't have this. But I know what's in here. I do. You have to know what's in you. No one else is going to know what's in you. No one. How can they? They're not you. They won't understand you. You're going to be misunderstood. And honestly, you don't have to go around, and the sooner you can understand what I'm saying, you don't have to go around explaining to everybody what you're trying to do. You want to have the most exhausting, draining, miserable life. Decide what you want to do and go do it. And if you have to wake up every day and explain to every motherfucker why you're doing this, by the time it gets even time to do it, you're going to be so drained. She's like, yeah, but why are you doing this? And I'm like, well, listen, let me explain. Match burned. Shh. You only get a box of about 10 a day. So before you even go to war, you're already tired. Okay? That's the reason why I just remove people that question me. I'm not telling you that I'm not opening to learning, but I know who wants to see me win and who's with me and who's not with me. If I feel like you're not with me, you're out. And by the way, that's not bad. Those people need to go find their people. Does that make sense? Yeah. Listen, everybody understand this. I don't want anyone to ever get their feelings hurt by me. Okay, my shirt, it says, in order to live the life that you want to live, you have to tell people things that you don't want to hear. Think about it. If you can't openly walk around and tell people how you feel, which it's your life, and you actually have a good heart, you want good for people, but you're on a mission in your life. But you can't tell people things because you're walking around on eggshells, because you don't want to tell people things because you know that it will hurt their feelings or they won't understand. You are in prison. You're in prison. You're in prison. You're a free man who's in jail. Here. Okay? And I know this because my dad was a pushover. And I don't want to be anything like him. By the way, some of you in here, changing the psychology of the leader, maybe some of you don't know who you want to be in here, but you need to know who you don't want to be. I always say this. Know who you don't want to be. Okay? I don't want to be fat. Don't ever be fat again then. Hey, I don't want to have a bad attitude. Then don't ever have a bad attitude again. You know what I decided? I started this challenge in my head that I didn't tell anyone. The greatest challenges happen when you don't tell anyone else. I know it's so weird because we want everybody to see us win. How about you see you win? How about that win? How far would that take you? Okay? I made a deal with myself in 2020. I said, I want to see if I can go 24 hours with not thinking about one negative bad thing and just being in a good mood all day. 24 hours. It took me about 7 weeks to figure out how to do it. Seriously. You know what I learned? I'm not very good to me. It wasn't even you, him, or him. It was me. The enemy wasn't in some far off distant land that I was like, where's the enemies? Who's trying to f me today? It was me. I was messing my life up over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I would come home and my wife would be busy. And I'm like, she don't love me no more. Stories. I'm losing my mind. You know, it's like, dude, if I wanted my wife to pay attention to me, I would just walk over there and say, hey, baby girl, I missed you today. I love you, and give her a big kiss. And everything would have been fine. But I'm making up stories in my head while she isn't walking over to me. I'm literally looking at an employee, somebody that's with me that promised me they were going to stay with me till they died. But they're walking around and they're not in a good mood today. And I'm like, what's going on? Are they looking for a job? Are they getting recruited? Have they found another job? Are they tired of me? Maybe they don't believe in my company anymore. Maybe they got a problem with me. The motherfucker's grandpa just died. Like, I'm losing my mind. It was all me. And I was like, okay, I need to go 24 hours at a time programming my mind to be good to me. And I learned I had to plug into information constantly and things that would feed me. Because honestly, me being in this body for 40 years, my body knows how to be really bad to me. And if I don't like me, truthfully, I'm horrible to everybody. I am not a good man to my wife or my kids or my company or myself when I don't like me. And so people also, about the fitness thing, the reason why I think the fitness thing, I really went, like, I have to do this because it gets my mind right. It fires off oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, which are these chemicals that set me on fire. And then also, it makes me like me more. And the more I like me, the more I love me, the more I can love other people. Does that make sense? Yeah. Are you guys figuring out in your head like where you're going wrong? Yeah. You know, I'm willing to bet the information that I've just given you here is probably worth $25 million. If you'll change. If you'll change. Okay? Devil doesn't want you to change. All right, leaders live for a bigger vision than themselves. You got to make sure that whoever's with you, the reason why you can never stop growing, never stop dreaming, is because you have to build this dream and this vision so big that everyone else can also get their dream in your dream. Does that make sense? Listen, it's just the way it is. If you got people in your company that are leaders that you're building up, they also have to find their dream in your dream, which means your dream, if you own a company, have to continue to get bigger day in and day out. Because your team's dreams are getting bigger. Does that make sense? Okay, super good information. All right, it's the little details that make you rich, not the big ones. A lot of you in here think it's one big next move. It's not. It's you getting in shape. It's you being in a better attitude, better mood, having better perspective all day. It's you picking up a piece of trash on the floor and your team seeing you do it. If there was a piece of trash right here and you guys saw me kept walking around it, you guys would be like, that guy thinks he's too good to pick up that piece of trash. People see everything. But if I saw a piece of trash, you saw me walk in, I'd say, guys, give me a minute. Let's throw this away. Everybody, you're like, whoa, that's different. Little things. Little things people recognize. Little details. And by the way, you'll never understand this, but they mean everything. I promise you. I wanted to have more sex with my wife. I started cleaning the countertops. Hump City came. I started doing the dishes. All of a sudden, I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Watch. My point is, listen to me. The little things make the biggest difference, okay? Mission, this is a big one. Every one of you wants to build a fully optimized, scalable business that can run and grow without you. Am I right? Yes. Do you guys want that? Yes. Okay, you'll never get it if you can't become great and build others to be great and resell yourself every day while you need to stay on the vision, the mission, and keep growing, and also resell the vision to your company every day and your clients. Never forget it. Run and grow without you. Hey, remember what I said? You can't get people to do what you can't do. You can't get them to become what you're not. You can't ask them to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. And also, you got to communicate with your team so they understand what is the mission. Hey, also one last thing. If anyone in here has a team behind them, if I'm going 60 miles an hour and you're going 50, my goal is to get you to come 60 with me, right? But if I get you to come 60 with me and then I don't keep growing, you may go 70 now. You're either going to hit the back of me or you're going to go around me. And so many of you are going to catch on fire for 1 year. You're going to stop growing and your team's going to go right around you to someone else. And that's why people leave companies in most cases. Or they forget what the company's about, or occasionally you just have somebody that doesn't want what they said they wanted in the beginning anymore. I had a guy the other day, he goes, Andy, I've been with this guy for 4 years. I've given him everything. You don't even understand. And I'm like, listen, man, people change. I change for the better. I get hungrier. I want more. I want to be a better winner. My standards keep growing. Honestly, a lot of people get tired at some point and they don't want that no more. That's just the truth. I'm not going to be mad at them. But they're the one that have to live with regrets because they got off the train. But for me and my family, my team, we're not stopping. Does that make sense? Yeah. Listen, I always think when somebody leaves, what could I have done differently? Right? What could I have done to help them? But at the end of the day, there is people that honestly, it's exhausting being a loser and it's exhausting being a winner. They choose, I would rather be, because they think that if I just stop doing this, I'm going to get pressure relieved. No, there's not. You're going to give all that up, and now you're going to go to be exhausted as a loser. Do you guys feel me? Yes. And by the way, if you don't believe me, try it. You're going to either get one of these two sides. All right, I put how. Hey, remember what I said? What is the goal? How do we get it? Find the right mentor. Find one person. One person. Don't pick 5, please. Choose one, go all in. Number 2, you got to clone yourself. Let that mentor make you become great. When you become great, clone yourself. Build the right team. If the team isn't right, whoever isn't right, remove. Okay? As long as we align, I know we're all different characters, but we must always align. It's when we don't align, it's time for you to go. And by the way, not because you're a bad person, but you need to go find those that you do align with. Do you feel me? Okay. Train them every day. You must train every day. It's a non-negotiable. You must have a rule in your company that self-development is the key core foundation of everything. All right, I got 2 more. Goal. Get it all. If you have to give up something that's important to you, guess what? Think twice before you do, because if you do, you're going to regret it. Some of you right now, getting it all, you don't know what that is. I told you, I want a great marriage. I want my kids to be proud of me. I want them to admire me, look up to me. I want to like me. I think it's pretty important. If everybody else likes me but I don't like me, that's a problem. I want to be in great shape. I want to be fit. I want to put a financial fence around my family. I want to make good money. I want to be close to God. I want to build a badass team. I want to have respect, and I don't want people to use me. I want to change people's lives. I know what I want. That's me getting it all. I'm going to build a life around getting it all. Can you guys do the same? Yeah. Dude, that's called freaking living, dude. Yeah. And if somebody tells you you can't do it, guess what? Get away from them. You don't want to catch that virus. That is a virus. You don't want it. And by the way, some of you in here, that's why today, if I could just remove this shit out of your head, a lot of you, it's not someone else, it is you. Okay? Create wealth and freedom. This is the goal. Create wealth and freedom. We want to not be able to have somebody else put our thumb on us all the time. I want to work for a company that allows me, to be different, to go hard. Yeah, there's going to be rules. There's rules to everything. But I want to be free. My team, they can take vacation whenever they want. They can leave whenever they want. I always say there's the A schedule, B schedule, and C schedule. A and B are for freaking low producers. C schedule is I'll see you when I see you. You put up the dough, you put up the revenue, you got freedom. You do what you want whenever you want. I don't give a shit. I'll never ask where you're at. So if you want freedom, you got to be the best in any industry. Okay, and then build an engine that never stops growing. The goal, build an engine that never stops growing. Something that just is like 5,000 horsepower, you know? And so if you're going to build an engine, what kind of fuel you put in it really matters. What kind of fuel are you guys putting in your engine right now? And then lastly, everything to me is an empire. It's super important. This is how you build your empire. Number one, self-leadership. If you don't lead yourself right, this thing, no one else will want to be led by you. Which, by the way, brings me to step two. The way that you lead yourself will determine whether anyone else wants to be led by you. If you have to go into your company and you say things like, "Hey, I'm the boss," you're a loser. If you ever have to tell anyone who you are to get them to move, you have zero influence. You have zero influence. They don't respect you. They're using you. And by the way, they're not going to be with you for long. And the second someone offers them more money, they're gone. So lead yourself right. Number one, you'll live a life with no regrets and you'll be proud of yourself. And your family will be proud of you. And you'll make a difference in this world. And as a Christian, which I know sometimes with my mouth it seems like I'm not, but I want to tell you this. As a Christian, I believe that God is looking to use not the meek, not the weak, not the sheep, but the crazy dreamers, the freaking rebels, to get out on the front lines who raise their hands and say, "I'll be a leader and use me." And so build yourself to be great. And then other people, they'll want to be built by you because they'll see, they're like, "Dude, I want what you have." Be a good example of human excellence. You don't have to be perfect. Tell people, "Man, I'm going to screw up every day, but I'm the comeback kid. And you're going to screw up every day and you come back too. How about that?" People are like, "Dude, I can align with that." Cool, we're going to get off the line, but as long as we go back as fast as possible, we're good. We don't want to, but we're humans, right? God came for the lost, not the righteous. So become your best self every day. And this, get obsessed with. Get crazy about this. Be an extremist here. Then these people, number two, they'll want to be led by you. Now these people, step two, all these people are going to become leaders, right? You were able to build you. If I can build me, I can build you. You know why I know I can fix every one of you? You know why Eric's so good at fixing other people? Because he fixed him. Whatever you can overcome in your own life, you're immensely qualified to help someone overcome that in their life. If you're an alcoholic and you're in this room anymore, you stop drinking, you can help someone else stop drinking. If you're a shitty-ass husband, but you can learn to be a good husband, you can help someone else become a good husband. You know why? Because you know what you did to do it. That's the world. I think that's a cool thing. I think that's why sometimes God really wrecks some of you guys in here. He wrecks you so that you can fix yourself so you can help those other wrecked people. And the more wrecked you are, the more you can come back from, the more people you can help. So like, I'm honestly like, I'm like super wrecked. But guess what? I never learned that that would be my biggest blessing. And so if you've been like really hurt, then you can really help hurt people if you've overcome that. Okay? And by the way, be loving. You know, being a Christian is all about love and peace. Okay? Don't ever get stressed out. Stress will kill you. Run to pressure. Run to pressure. Run. Do it. Guess what? Some of you guys, I know Eric, because at every event, I ask people to come coach and train with me at the end. I'm like, hey, if you guys enjoyed today, do you guys want to do this with me for the next year? And a lot of people are like, yes, but then they think, but I'm scared. And you know what I say to that? It's okay to be scared. It's okay to have fear, but do it scared. Do it scared. I ran to the front of the room and I bought a 20 grand offer in 2020 and I was scared shitless. I didn't believe in myself, but I just knew that I had to do something because I didn't want to freaking go backwards. 2 years, paying 500 grand for training. What did I learn? I believe in me that much. I want you to listen to me. I'm not telling you to spend 500 grand to pay somebody with training. But I believe in me that much, that if I want to know what you know and you tell me it's 500, you bet your ass if you teach me what you know, I'm going to freaking become what you can and even better. I'll give you the 500. That's how much I believe in me. So, lead yourself, build other leaders, and then lastly, this is where you get rich, and I'm going to finish this. An individual can be beat, but a team can't be beat. You can't beat a team. I give all the credit to the Elliott group, to my team. Me and Jackie, my beautiful wife, would be absolutely nothing without our team. That's why we give everything we can to our team. Because they are everything. And we don't give it to them because we hope they'll stay around. We give it to them because we love them. You know, people say, how do I be a great leader and retain people so they don't leave? Well, don't operate from fear. Operate with love. You know, I sat down with Jackie one day. I was becoming ungrounded. I was getting angry and mad. And, you know, she's my coach. She reminded me, she goes, all these people are here, not because they fear you, but because they know how much you love them. The minute you forget that, you will lose everything. Your wife doesn't have to stay with you because she's married to you and has a kid. She needs to stay with you because she knows how much you love her. Fear is the biggest, weakest thing on planet Earth, and the devil uses it to kill all of us. Have zero fear. If you know you're worth it, go for it. If your wife is worth it, treat her great because she's worth it. Just understand where value is in your life and start taking care of these value spots. This right here, this is how you get rich. You become great. You build other people to become great. When these people become great, they're indebted to you forever because you gave them the time to become great and you showed them what they could become. And the only way they know to pay it back is to go and make other people great too. And now you have a leadership company that you once became who you needed to be. And you stay that way and you never change back. And you keep getting greater and don't ever let your team outgrow you. You got to keep getting better. Then phase 2, all the people that you lead, they become great. And now they are like, dude, you go do that, whatever, work on the company. We are going to build these other people to be great now. Because they want to help other people become what they once weren't. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Dude, the formula I just gave you, every one of you came in here today and you were like, I'm coming to this thing because I want something, right? I know I just gave you a lot, but basically what I told you is chase the man, not the money. If you become who you're supposed to become, I'm not sure I can tell you how to build your business. If I knew more about it, I could probably find the buckets of cash, what you're missing. But when you become who you're supposed to become, everything just falls into place. You do have to stay in these rooms. After this conversation, can some of you see that like you're thinking differently than you did this morning?
Yes.
That's why we do this. Honestly, there's some of you that almost didn't come. You like almost didn't come. Like I almost didn't come to this event. I almost didn't buy my ticket. I almost didn't show up. I had 3 other things that came up and I was going to cancel coming here. God, man, what a fool if you wouldn't have made it and you would have missed this. See, you have to slow down. The goal with the devil is to keep your mind so busy you can't grow. is to keep your mind so confused and around bad influence and procrastinating and thinking that everything has to be perfect so that you won't ever take a move. Guys, I sold my house. I moved across the country. I got burned by everybody, and I don't stop loving people, and I still trust them. A lot of you, when you get betrayed, first thing you want to do is go, all right, nobody's me again. You know what? How about this? Those people that betrayed you, they have to deal with that. They have to live with that. But for me, I know there's a lot of people that are like me, that are great people, and I'm not going to stop giving my best to people. See, don't let the devil tear you to pieces. Don't let him ruin that good man, good woman that's inside of you. People will want to run with you because they know how good your heart is. You can look at someone and you can tell whether they have a heart or they don't. The most dangerous person in the room is a person with a cold heart. That person is going to get a life that is nasty, and I don't mean in a good way. That person will always get exactly what they deserve. But those of you that can keep your heart soft in a world full of chaos, you will be respected by everybody. Dude, it's awesome to be around loving and peaceful people. Navy SEALs, when they're under fire, I don't know if you've ever seen them, but like normal civilians, if somebody was in this room and started popping off guns and they had weapons, dude, Navy SEALs wouldn't even flinch. They will pull their weapons and shoot you right between the eyes. They won't even think twice. But normal civilians start running around. Dude, we're all going to get killed because we don't even know how to fight back. And that's why we all get shot. We all get killed. They slaughter us. If you can listen to me, if you want to really make it through life and you want to have a great life, number one, stress will kill you. Should this be fun, everything we just talked about? Yes. I think this is so fun. The minute you go from this is not fun anymore to this is stressful, you immediately get taken out. The minute a marriage gets so serious that they can't laugh and flirt anymore, you're on the verge of becoming roommates. The minute that you stop playing with your kids, don't be surprised when all they want to do is be on their phones. Their phones are funner than their parents. When your people that are in your company came to work for you because they believed that you were going to make them great, but then you stopped teaching them and making them great, don't be surprised one day when they walk out and they're like, where's that guy going? You didn't keep your word. And then lastly, at the end of your life, you're going to have to, before you die in the last 30 seconds, look back and say, do I like who I became? Listen, it's okay to get off the track. It's okay to make big mistakes. The question is, can you go back? Okay, so I just want at the end of my life, I want God to be like, you got off a lot, bro, but you always came back. And for that reason, you were able to help millions of people come back because you were living proof that people can come back. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay, so this is my play. It doesn't have to be yours, but this is a play that we can all run. The only money that it costs is the mentor. And so I always want you to ask yourself this question. Number one, am I worth it? If you're ever going to spend $1 on yourself, am I worth it? If I knew everything this guy knew, would I do anything with it? Would I do anything? Would I change? Would I listen? Am I coachable? If yes, do it. Because what it's costing you not to become who you're supposed to become is the greatest cost. It doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account. What matters is how much money could you have in your bank account if you knew all this, if you could become this person. That's the cost. So these things I outweigh in any decision. I'm like, what is it costing me not to do it? Okay? The ROI right now in self-development is huge. But you guys all have to change. So I don't know when the next time I'm going to see everybody, but I want you to know that next time I see you, I'm going to look different. I am. And I want you to look different too. I want you to be unrecognizable. I want you to be a walking billboard of human excellence from the outside and then also by the way you live. And dude, if you guys run my play and you do this, you guys stay close to Eric, it's over. No one will be able to compete with you because you're not competing with anybody. You're creating something the world's never seen. Remember this, if you compete, you fight for breadcrumbs. If you create, blue ocean. Everything I just gave you guys is straight blue ocean. People like this don't exist. But I am one of these people, and you don't have to be just like me. You be you, but a lot of the things that I said, if you can just emulate them, model proven practices, okay? And I know the play, dude. This shit works because I'm living this life right now. And as many haters as I have 10 times the people that love what I'm doing. And so be really careful to listen to those 10% little bitches out there that have never helped one soul in their life. They've never helped anyone. But they're the first person to try to stop you from helping others. What do we do with crickets? We just step on them. We move around them. And what happens when you get close to a cricket? They quit chirping. Bro, you ever walk in next to, you're like, where's that cricket? And you're like, I can't hear it. And so you go over here and you hear it again. You're like, that little bitch. Where are you at? Am I right? You guys know trying to find a cricket's the hardest thing in the world. This sounds so weird, but I'm going to finish and then I'm getting out of here, okay? I've never had, ever, someone walk up to me and say anything to my face. Just so you're aware, I've never had, I'm not a fighter. They're cowards. Cowards are crickets. They talk shit on everyone and they do nothing. So just understand, when you're even giving these people an ounce of space in your head or someone's doubting you, dude, don't take advice from people you don't want to be. Do you want their life? I mean, honestly, do you want their life? That comment you got on social media, do you want their life? No. Then why are you even wasting 1 second on those freaking people? Do you feel me? Now that I've got that out of the way, now you're free. Now you guys can do whatever you want. And anybody that pipes up and says anything, who cares? That's the only way you'll build something. And most people could have been great, but they won't because they listen to other people. Okay? So if you don't want to be them, don't listen to them. You guys feel me? Yes. And you're going to have people in your life that love you, that also don't want you to do this because they want you to stay safe. Those people aren't bad people. Had a guy the other day, I was like, prove your haters wrong. He's like, my mom keeps saying I shouldn't do this. I'm like, bro, your mom isn't the enemy. Your mom is your mom. She loves you, she wants to be safe, and she doesn't want you to suffer. The problem is you have to suffer as a human to get anywhere in this world. And by the way, you'll never be proud of yourself if you don't suffer. Okay? Your mom doesn't want you to suffer. She's your mom. Love her, she will never understand you. Now go suffer. Let her see in the end what her son became. But she's not the enemy, dude. The enemy are the people that don't believe in you. She doesn't believe you can't do it. She just wants to see you she wants to see you unsafe. Guys, you play safe, you stay nobody. The more you can bet on yourself, the further you're going to go. If there were two people, and I'm just going to say this, it was you, and you only both had $1,000 in the bank. He's got 1,000, he's got 1,000. And I'm like, I got this training program, bro, I'm going to change your life. $1,000. And he's like, oh shit, that's all I got, I'd be broke. And then he's like, you know what, 1,000, I can do that because I don't like having 1,000 in my bank. You know what, I'll empty it, I'll give you all I got, change my freaking life, let's roll. That guy is the most dangerous guy in the room. That guy's stuck. He's trying to hold on to his last dollar. This guy's trying to break free and go to the top. Do you feel me? Okay, so I wanted to explain in your life, if you don't have what you want, guess what, quit trying to hold on to it. The only way to go up is to let go. Freaking go for it. Give it all you got. That's why I said, are you worth it? If you're worth it, I sold my house. I sold my cars. I moved to another state. People say, well, that's crazy. Yeah, if you take any successful person and you crack them open, they're crazy. So, do they make statues of the haters and the critics? You ever seen a statue of a hater? They make statues of the crazy dreamers. Hopefully some of you guys in here, you dreamed today. Eric, I love you. You guys are awesome. Hey guys, give it up for yourself. You guys ready? Okay. Love you. Love you. All right, I'll see you guys.